Hey guys and gals, Nary here from Drakewing Gamers, so I'm on Twitter the Gaming Drag. Today I'm coming back at you another Let's Play episode of Tennis Ace, Case Path. So y'all, we just learned that Case is planning on like asking someone out at the school festival. I think we can all guess who it's going to be. I'm very much looking forward to that thing. I bet it's going to be wonderful and adorable and all kinds of cute. Anyway, y'all, let's go ahead and jump right back in, shall we? Alarm Shan, you are up, and let's go. Okay. That's it? Geez, you could stand to be a bit more excited. Kaken has someone he likes? That's news to me. I see. Are you okay, Yuichi-kun? You seem a little out of it. Did you stay up all night again? What? No, I'm fine. That's weird. Why am I suddenly feeling so strange? The person he likes, I didn't know there was someone like that. He never told me. Look, here come the boys. I look up on cue with her announcement, seeing the three of them walking out of the main building. 1 second, y'all. Okay. Shuichi smiles and waves once he realizes we see him. This is surprising. Did you three meet up on the stairs or something? Not exactly. Urata and I met up inside but we decided to fetch Kobayashi first. He looked like he was really overwhelmed trying to wait on tables. He was jumping from one place to another in a hurry. It was really funny. It's not exactly something you should be laughing about, you ass. I look over at June, who is still taking deep breaths, with beads of sweat rolling down his brow and mixing in with his fur. Are you okay? You don't look so good. I'm fine. It's just, I didn't realize how hot it would get in the classroom once the burners were all on, and we had a bunch of people inside. The place isn't even close to being packed, though. Only half the tables were occupied. If this is too much for you, then you're gonna suffer tomorrow. Don't say that. Come to think of it, this whole thing might be hell for a guy that is afraid of crowds. Waiting tables might have been a bad idea, June. Yuichi-san, you don't need to worry about me. I'm gonna be fine. What? I didn't say anything. It's written all over your face. Wow, he's right. You look like a wrinkly old lady. Watch it, floppy ears. What did I do? Not you, the other floppy ears. Yuichi-kun, calling someone floppy ears is a bit offensive, you know. Like I care. Yuichi-san, you shouldn't be mean to Keisuke-san. I already said I wasn't talking to Keiken. I don't know about you guys, but I really don't feel like standing around the entrance watching other people have fun. Yeah, you're right. We should go have some fun. I can't wait to see what the festival is like in here. The five of us then start walking while we chat, taking quick looks at interesting booths in between conversation. By the way, Junkun, what was your old school's festival like? It was much more sedated. The school didn't have all that many students to begin with. It's probably one of the reasons I'm so bad at dealing with crowds. It was always kind of lonely there. So there wasn't anything you liked about the festival here? Festival there? Something I liked? Oh, I remember. The fireworks display. There was always pretty nice. Fireworks, huh? So you're the type that likes those. Yes, I love them. Oh, hey, guess I won't be the only one to enjoy them this year. The only one? These three aren't really fond of fireworks. Hey, that's a little unfair. I like them. They're very pretty. I just hate to use earplugs because they hurt my ears. I have the same problem. My hearing is kind of sensitive, so the fireworks really hurt. I prefer the indoors when they happen. They're pretty mad for me. Maybe it's because I'm colorblind? What? You're colorblind? Oh, I didn't tell you? You rarely ever talk about yourself in the first place, Sai-chan. I guess that's true. I'm sorry to hear. I really don't think being colorblind is why. Even with that, the fireworks should still be pretty. Not that you can attest that with certainty, since you're not colorblind yourself. I suppose that's true. You don't have to worry about it, Junkun. I don't think I'm missing something or anything like that. It doesn't bother me much. Mizuguchi-san? Oh, hey. They're selling game memorabilia here. Really? Where? And just like that, June's attention is whisked away from what seemed to be an important topic because he was too excited about games. I don't recognize any of these. Are these all characters from obscure games or something? It would explain why they're so cheap. Well, whoa, these are... June points at a set of keychains hanging from the far wall. They seem to be part of a collection since they're all hanging together like that. Do you recognize them, June? Yes, they're from an old-school American RPG released about 20 years ago. I used to play it a lot a few years back. I probably finished 5 or 6 times. Damn, that's a lot of times. What's the game about? You play as a detective that gets killed and sent to the afterlife. Then you spend most of your time trying to keep your soul from being deleted while trying to find out how you died. Damn, that's kind of morbid. It sounds like a lot of fun. What are the names of the characters? The wolf is the main character. Wolfstar. Then there's Rufus, Janice, and Hugo. The game has a few more main characters, but I guess they don't have keychains of them here. I will admit, I like their designs. They do seem like they have a lot of personality. Bunch of buff men? Not my thing. How ironic that the only girl in the group is saying that. If I'm supposed to carry a keychain around with me everywhere, then I'd rather have a cute girl. You just enjoy being a contrarian, don't you? Maybe a little. Excuse me, how much for these? June fishes for his wallet inside his pants as he calls to the students in charge of the tent. The guy or girl is sitting in the back of the booth, their back turned to us, so I couldn't really see whether it's a guy or not. Then they turned around and... Oh, it's Kobayashi. Ryoji-kun? You guys are here too? What's up? How come you've got a booth set up here? Shouldn't you be working at your class's display? The bear shrugs, absent-mindedly tapping away at his phone in between sentences, his gaze never staying on us for too long. It was boring, so I asked for permission to set up my own booth. Bought some products I knew were worth more than they were selling for and decided to flip them. I've gotten some good money so far. Looks like you have a pretty decent business sense. He shrugs again, his eyes never even registering Kaken's presence due to being locked on his phone. I've always been good at estimating value of stuff related to gaming, I guess. Well, you are a game addict, after all. Hey, Ryoji-kun, how much for the Sins in Paradise keychains? Ryoji doesn't even look at June's hand to see where he's pointing. As soon as he hears the game's name, he immediately looks to the exact place on the wall that they were placed and picks them up. These have been selling really well, even though the game is kind of old and not well known in Japan. I guess people just like the design. These 4 are the last ones I have. They're 3,500 yen each, but I'll sell them to you for 12,000 yen if you buy all 4. Ooh, even for just one, that's kind of pricey for me. Cake and Shuichi and I look at each other, sharing our thoughts without having to exchange any words. The 3 of us pull out our own wallets. We'll take all 4, then it becomes a bit cheaper even for you, June. What? Really? You bet. Besides, I like their design, so whichever one I get, I'll be happy. Same here. Okay, thanks. We pay Ryoji-kun and he hands us our keychains. How do we decide who gets which? Which one do you like the most, Yuichi-san? I guess it would be... Rufus. Maybe? I really like Rufus. His clothes are really stylish. It looks like he'd be cool. He'd be a cool character of the bunch. He kind of is. Okay, you can take Rufus. My favorite is Janice, anyway. Sweet. Wolfstar was the one I liked the most. He's mine. I can take Hugo. I admire my new keychain, examining how good the color and molding of it is. The metal back is really smooth and has a brushed feel that I quite like. Yep, these are pretty stylish. Thanks a lot, Ryoji-kun. I love these. Don't you want one too, Saya? Nah, I'm not really fond of keychains anyway. Thank you for your business. June waves goodbye to Ryoji while we walk away. While everyone else either put the keychain in their pocket or with their keys, June walks around staring at his the whole time. He looks to be really pleased with it. It's kind of funny. The rest of the day isn't very eventful. We go around a few stalls eating together. We play a few games here and there. There's barely any time for us to do anything as everyone's breaks quickly end. This was the only time we could schedule for all 5 of us to go around together, so it's kind of sad that it ended so soon. As the other 4 leave to attend to their class's own events, I continue to roam around by myself until I get tired and decide to go back home. I have to mentally prepare myself for tomorrow, as the place is probably going to be much more packed. Ding-ling. Ding-ling-ling. Walking around the school courtyard, I'm surprised by just how many people are out and about instead of being indoors. The sun has been, quite frankly, ridiculously hot for the past hour or so, and just stepping into the sunlight has me feel like I could start smoking any second now. Although, I guess those with shorter fur don't have much of an issue. Still, if I want to talk with one of the other buildings, I just have to do it, don't I? Please come see our performance tomorrow night! I hear a female voice shouting from nearby. The voice sounds so familiar to me that I decide to check it out, turning left and walking in that direction instead. I see a familiar calico cat, cheerfully calling passers-by and handing them flyers. Please come see our performance tomorrow night. Oh, Michimaya-kun, hiya! Minazuki, you're in charge of distributing flyers? She smiles brightly, nodding with a quick hop of her feet to show her enthusiasm. Her voice sounded a little hoarser than usual, but I'll just chalk it up to being shouting in the sun for God knows how long. I wanted to help in any way I can. I don't really understand anything about instruments, and I can't do much about organizing them, so I decided to handle the flyers. No offense, but shouldn't that be a job for your manager? Not that I want to dump more work on Kaken's shoulders, but Minazuki shakes her head negative. He already has way too much on his plate, what with helping his class's display and with organizing the show. I don't want to give him more stuff to do. Besides, passing flyers is no trouble. How much work has he been doing for you guys? I haven't talked to him at all since the start of the festival, so I assume he's been kept busy. Oh, he comes by to help out whenever he's working on his class's project. I don't think he's taken any personal time off during the festival. Sheesh, sounds like he's overworking himself. I wouldn't doubt that. He can be pretty irresponsibly responsible sometimes. Irresponsibly responsible? Is that even a thing? I choose to believe it is. Minazuki giggles, hugging her stack of flyers close to her chest, her voice reminiscent of a sweet purr. Oh, by the way, have a flyer too. She hands a cute little flyer with details on the time and place of the performance. Gotta admit, this thing is pretty minimalistic. I half expected a bunch of drawings of guitars, skulls, flames, and whatnot. I might not have the most correct mental image of the musicians. Here, everything you need to know when to show. I hope you'll come watch. Of course, I wouldn't miss it. Cute flyer, by the way. Kei-chan designed it. I told you he's been working around the clock to help us. God, he's sounding like Shuichi when he does nothing but work. Although I suppose I should be glad that he's working on something he really likes, but I don't know. Part of me is worried that he's not taking good care of himself. To be honest, I've more or less avoided trying to talk to him since I heard from Saya that he's confessing to the person he likes during the festival. I don't want to talk to him and then hear about how he's dating now or something like that. In fact, a part of me kind of wishes he'd be rejected. I'm a horrible friend, and possibly person, too. Hello, Earth to Mishimaya-kun, are you still there? Oh, what? Sorry, did you say something? Minazuki pouts, putting a hand on her waist and giving me an annoyed look. Geez, did you ignore everything I just said? No. Then what did I say? That you were looking forward to the performance because it would be you guys' first time? Oh, I guess you were paying attention after all. Sorry for doubting you. I was right? So, see? And you said I wasn't paying attention. Alright, I'm gonna get going now. I need to make sure this stack of flyers is gone before lunch. Sure, have a nice day, Minazuki. Thanks, hopefully I will. I just need to get through all these flyers before I have a heat stroke. Yeah, that would be really bad, wouldn't it? Minazuki giggles, nodding cheerfully. But I've been going at a pace, so I think I should be done before lunch. Good luck, Minazuki. I'll see you later, Michimaya-kun. I have no doubt Kei-chan will find a way to smuggle you backstage before the show anyways. What? Before I have any time to properly react to her sudden words, Minazuki winks at me and walks away, turning her back from me. What did she mean by that? There's no way he'd do that. Why would Kei-chan sneak me backstage? I'm sure he'd rather bring whatever girl he's going to be confessing to anyway. Yeah, sure, all the cool stuff he gets to work on. That'll probably be one hell of a way to show his charms. Pathetic. Why the hell am I obsessing so much over this? This is ridiculous. Whether Kei-chan does or doesn't start dating someone is none of my business. Can you imagine that I'd be jealous over that? There's no way. No, not possible. Nuh-uh, never. Can't happen. And if anything, I'm just upset because he's going to do something that's clearly so important he didn't choose to tell me. Yeah, that's it. After we've gotten so close recently, he doesn't even think of telling me that he's got a girl he likes? Or that he's going to confess to her? You hold a fellow in your arms while he freaks out from fear, and yet you're somehow not close enough to hear about the things that are important to him? The gall! And it was Saya of all people that he told. I mean, I know they're close and all, but come on, Saya? She can't keep a secret to save her life. Yeah, there's no way I'm jealous. Nuh-uh, this is nothing. I've got absolutely no reason to be thinking about this right now. None. I need help! Preferably of the psychiatric variety, because I've clearly lost my mind. Man, I can think of some really offensive things sometimes, huh? What's wrong with me? One second, let me drink my water. Ah, delicious. No, better not go there. But despite all that, if Kei-chan is overworking himself nearly as much as Minazuki seems to think he is, I should probably offer him a hand. I hate how despite all this, all I care about is making sure he's doing okay. Ooh, excuse me. Ugh, I'm a total doormat sometimes. There's no way I could be falling for him, right? By the time I get to the second floor corridor, I see a small line forming outside Kei-chan's classroom, with a single student standing in front of it, wearing a black trench coat with suspicious-looking red stains on it. The otter's coat is a little torn at the hem, but he has half of an old, torn, formerly white bandana on his head and carries a clear plastic clipboard in his hand. From the looks of it, he's signing all the students in, a big smile on his face as he does so. I look up to him. Once it becomes clear that I'm basically cutting the line to talk to him, I get a few annoyed glares from the people in line. I choose to ignore them. Hey, is Keisuke there? Keisuke who? We have 3 Keisuke working in class, and not to mention that possibility that some of the people going through the attraction right now might also be called that. Urushihara. You know, white hair, plays tennis, always has a sour look on his face. The outer mouths an O and nods. Yeah, Urushihara left a few minutes ago to grab some supplies we needed. I'm manning the front entrance in his absence. He should be back in a few minutes. Thanks, I'll wait around for him to show up. Why don't you sign up for the haunted class while you wait? I'm sure the spooks will be a great way to pass the time. He grins at me, probably thinking of how he could stand to make extra money if I did what he wants. I'll pass for now. Maybe later. Oh, fine. Have it your way. Just don't hold up the line for actual paying customers. Wow. Rude. I shake my head and step away, leaning against the opposite wall and deciding to wait around in front of the classroom until Kaiken arrives. It doesn't take long. I feel my resolve to face him withering the more time passes. Stop being so whiny, you Ichi-kun. Man up already. I wait around for what feels like an eternity, although I don't really trust my feelings on this matter since I tend to lose track of time pretty easily. The line in front of Kaiken's class never really does much thinning out. Despite all the people going in and out, the size of the line seems to stay about the same. They seem to be wildly successful with their little haunted house. It's kind of surprising because I always found these a bit lame. Just how much horror can you create inside a regular classroom lined with black polyethylene? Yuichi-san? A voice snaps me out of my thoughts, and when I look up, I see Kaiken stopped in front of his class, looking at me. He's carrying a heavy-looking box that partially covers his chin, and from his body language, it looks like it doesn't bother him much. Oh, Kaiken, hi! What's with the stuttering? Are you alright? Jesus, I barely said 2 words and already managed to sound like an idiot. Yeah, sorry, I was a bit distracted and you caught me by surprise. You were distracted? And when is that not the case? Hey, rude! Nah, just the truth. Is there something I can help you with? Help me? Well, you did show up to my class unannounced. Since you're not waiting in line, I doubt you want to go inside. I assume you were looking for me since you don't know anyone else in here. Oh, right, yeah, that's about right. Alright, just give me a second. I have to deliver these and then we can talk. I can wait until you go on break. I don't want to distract you from work. It's alright. My break starts as soon as I deliver this. It was just a last-minute errand I had to run before I could do so. Oh, alright. Jeez, why am I so happy over something so silly? I pressed my ass against the wall so I could pin my tail and keep it from wagging. A few minutes later, Kaiken walks back out of his classroom, nodding to the otter standing by the wall before he walks up to me. Alright, I'm here. What do you need? Alright, I'm going to go ahead and pause it right here. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell. Leave a super thanks or tip if you can. It always helps. Until the next video, I love you all. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!